Now the new phones, you can't even take the battery out no more. Yeah, so even if it dies out, they still got backup battery supply to listen to you. You get a new car, that OnStar. They say, oh, it's so great, you can unlock my car, jump start it from when you at. They can listen to your conversation while you're in the car with them. They track you wherever you go. So everything you use, it basically makes it easier to find you at. Yeah.
Like you said, now there was a movie called with Kevin Spacey called Horrible Boss, Horrible Bosses.
Yeah.
Now in the movie, at the end of the movie, he was trying to kill these dudes because they was exposing the fact that he killed the head guy from a particular corporation because he thought the guy was banging his wife, but it was another dude. But the cops was after these guys and pinning it on these other guys. So he was trying to kill them at the end of the movie. So the OnStar person that they were talking to, when this guy rolled up and was about to shoot them, he heard the entire conversation that this guy was saying. And then when the cops came, he said, oh, police, arrest these guys. These guys are trying to kill me. Then the OnStar guy played the tape back. It showed that it was him. This guy admitted to killing the other guy that the police were trying to pin on this guy. And then the police took his ass in. But like you said, everything is plugged in.
Everything.
That's just an example of
the
it.
new smart TVs. Now you could talk, the Uvu and all that. They can see you right through your screen. They can watch you while you're sleeping now. Because everybody got a TV in their bedroom, or most people do. They watch you pop your woman, watch whatever you do. Everything they got out here nowadays is just to spy on you. And the new cable boxes. Remember, years ago, 20 years ago, they had the technology where they do surgery. You had cameras the size of a pin. So it don't take much. You got cameras the size of a pin. That's what they call nanotechnology. So everything's being recorded. But they call us conspiracy nuts, and we're crazy. We're a bunch of goddamn Alice Jones wannabe. But this stuff's not conspiracy. It's right there in your face, and they tell you. Turn on the news or Google it.
Yeah, hell, Xbox One, right? The new system they got out now. The Xbox One, when you turn it on, it basically has a sonar system in it. If you know what sonar is, submarines deal with that. Because when they're underwater, it's black as hell when they're under that water. So the sonar system sends out the signal and maps out everything that's under and around the sub, so you don't run into a wall or run into a reef or run into a glacier or something.
Or broken down shit, whatever.
Or broken down shit, but the Xbox One sends out a sonar signal and gives a map of the inside of your house.
Wow.
Damn. Right from the console on top of the TV. Damn. It sends out, in other words, like Batman in the Dark Knight. Now remember that one phone that sent that sonar signal out in that building and it mapped the whole building out? Then he took the dude and brought him back to America? Xbox One does that. Has that technology in it.
Very good.
So they get a sonar map of the inside of your entire house.
Also, another thing on the Xbox, simple. This is how you flash the Xbox and it picks up your wireless remotes. Yeah.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped. So
who's that? The so-called white man. He's the new guy. He can see you. Look, we going through there. They got photo. What they saying? What's the sign they got?
They had radar tracking on the highway. You got to be mindful of the speed limit because they'll take a photograph of your ass and send you a ticket. They're tracking you through radar on the highway.
And they do that in New York. Before, we've been going through there for years. When you go through the West Side Highway, they say women, men, or whatever out there take your money. There's nobody. You go through it. They send you a picture of your car going through and tell you that they owe it with your plate, the time you went, and the bill for $5. And if you don't pay it, $10. And after that, $65. Goddamn white man think he's God. Now we know there's angels encamping around and see everything. That's how we know certain stuff. Like, you know, some things come through the spirit. That goes back to Jacob's ladder. When the angels going back and forth, it goes back certain things from the Most High to bring. Even us speaking right now, that's through the Spirit of the Lord and the angels. That's why in Daniel's, what was it, Michael the Archangel, Yahweh Shai was trying to break the Elamites' mind, and he needed help from Michael. So that, man, it's bad out here, man. So now with them, now they got the technology. Now they think they're the Most High. They think they got, the Lord gave them the old stuff. He gave them that analog, while he's digital, so to speak. They got that analog technology, and they think they can go up against the power. That's why they said the fool said there's no God. You got something? Bring it up.
This is Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as a lion, for as an iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Who's your enemy? You supposed to know you have an enemy. Now look, ain't no secret. We got one of the new demons that's coming at us hard is them black consciousness niggas. And that's an oxymoron because they're unconscious. They're not telling you what Esau's doing. They don't even bring it up. They don't even tell you what's going on. First and foremost, they don't even tell you who your enemy is. They never talk about the atrocities that happened to the nation of Israel. That's one thing. That's Judah, mostly, and a lot of Gadites that's mixed in there. What happened to all 12 tribes, man? When you go through the history of any of these native or the countries that they're dwelling in, it's all the same massacre. Everything. When you go to the Puerto Ricans, they was the conquistadors were tearing their ass up and robbing their ass. That's how they gave them the insult or the add injury. Insult to injury. They named it Puerto Rico because they robbed their ass because at one point it was rich. When you go to Zebulon, the Panama and the Guatemalans, the canal. That was, you know how many people had to lose their homes or lose their how many tribes or how many Israelites was there they pushed out or slaughtered? Is either go or get killed. Because that was a big commerce, a big money maker making that passageway.
When it comes to money, ain't nobody gonna fuck up the money.
It's like the railroads.
Yeah.
Did with Gad and Reuben.
Yeah, exactly. And it had a lot of them goops over here tearing up, kicking them out. So when you go through that, you never hear that about the black conscious. They're not talking about none of the things that we're talking about. Now you might get that faggot ass Farrakhan, he might bring out certain things, but he watches us and uses the Bible.
But Farrakhan ain't dealing with the Bible no more. He ain't dealing with the Quran no more either. He's dealing with Scientology now. All of them Nation of Islam niggas right now is dealing. He turned them over to the biggest witch in the United States, or one of them. L. Ron Hubbard, who was a student of Aleister Crowley.
Yep.
Scientology is basically L. Ron Hubbard's science fiction. And they take you know what they do basically, like you know the movie Ghostbusters, when Egon and Ray will come to your house and test to see if you have ectoplasmic activity going on in your house. Well, the Scientology people come to your house with some machine that's like that shit, and they scan you to see if you've been abducted by extraterrestrials before, and how much extraterrestrial energy you got in your body. That's what they come to your house and do. Then you have to pay money to progress on different levels in that Scientology shit. And I think the entry level is like 10 G's. So really, people who got money are the only ones that's a part of the Church of Scientology.
But wait a minute, so what's going to happen if they scared Shaka Amos Egypt? What's going to happen if they scared that nigga? They're going to find all type of extraterrestrials.
Hey, how they say men are from Mars and women from Venus, they're going to find out he's from Venus.
Yeah. And they're going to find out that he's a transgender.
Yeah.
He's neither man nor woman. No?
I appreciate it.
Hey,
Calling himself
yeah, if you talking that Egypt shit, man, you out of your mind, man. The Lord done destroyed Egypt long ago. As a matter of fact, just by you calling it Egypt, that's not a name of the original inhabitants of that land. The original so-called Africans, they didn't call it Egypt. It wasn't prior to, you know where they got that name Egypt from? Going back to the Greeks, so-called white people, Alexander. They put that name Egypt on it. And that's why one of the cities, I don't know if it's the capital, but it's one of the main cities, it's called Alexandria. Alexandria, Egypt, named after Alexander the so-called Great, which we know that he was just nothing but a devil. So they're not even, just like guys call themselves African. Really, Africa, the word Africa comes from what? Another so-called white man, Leo Scipios Africanus, if I'm pronouncing his name right, all right? Which was what, an Italian general, which was he was a devil, but they renamed that continent Africa, all right, which in the Latin, it means what, Africans, not cold, and that's known as a hot climate. Now the original name of that land was called what? The land of Ham. You gonna get that in Psalms? Oh, okay, now I thought you was going to the one in Psalms. Okay, huh?
Those darkness of people.
Isaiah? Okay, yeah, you can bring that out. But okay, but the original name was the land of Ham. Now the word Ham comes from the Hebrew word chum, which means hot, which again refers to that land of the continent of Africa, because it's a hot continent. All right, but back then they didn't call themselves Africans. Africa was a name that was put on that so-called continent. Just like Egypt was a name that was put on that land. The original name goes back to Mizraim, all right, which is found in the Bible. All right. Now they say Kemet. They don't even know that Kemet is a variation of the word Ham, Kim, Hamite, Kemite, same thing. Kim, like they say they Kemetic, is the same thing as Ham or Hamitic. But when you pronounce the Hebrew, you pronounce it almost like a K, but it's just like a CH. Chum. So that's where they get Kim. All right. So they don't even know that. Go ahead, Ak, and then the brother got the scripture.
If I can say something, say if like two people is attracted to each other, they say I got chemistry. You know, they got that heat, they got that passion for one another. Going back to that.
Exactly. Okay. So now say, yep. Go ahead. Bring out the scripture, brother.
But this is all Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling place to all generations.
Right, and that's the so-called white man. Meaning the so-called white man, just like America. Here it is, how do they gain control of America? Through what? Rape, robbery, and murder. Hell, D.C., where we at right now, Washington, D.C. This was stolen from the Native American Indians, man.
That's right.
All right, they moved, they was how you say they were Algonquian tribe? They moved them out of here, man. It was one of the Algonquian Indians. And they moved them up out of here, they conquered them, and then eventually they did what? They put their statues up here, they stole the land, and now look what they did. The Native American Indians and the so-called minorities of blacks and Latinos, we're catching hell in this land. Meanwhile, for the most part, you got these white people, they living good off of this land. They're living in the best parts of these land, the suburbs. Okay, because why? John 10:10. Get that real quick and hold that. Quick, fast, get John 10:10.
St. John's 10:10.
Go ahead.
The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy.
Right, now that's the Lord. In the Bible, he said the thief. That's why the so-called white man did it, because the Bible calls him the thief. And then it was prophesied that he was going to come over everything that he did with his U.S. cavalry, all right, by him sitting up there stealing the land, acting like he was friends with the Native American Indians, and then when they turned their back, he stabbed them right in it. That's in the Bible. That was prophesied. All the way to him going to the mainly the western coast of Africa, as well as other parts of Europe, Spain, Portugal, gathering the so-called Negroes to bring them over here as slaves. That's in the Bible. That's how we know that this Bible is the gospel, is the book of truth. Because why? The things that was prophesied happened. We're living proof of the Bible, man. All the way to today, to our people being bugged out on drugs, being on the heads, on the corners, bugged out on the corners and stuff, like selling drugs, drug addicts, winos. That's in the Bible, man. So that's how we know that this is the truth, man. All right? Yes, sir. You an Israelite, brother. Remember that, man. Go ahead, read. Who got it?
The thief cometh not, but to steal and to kill and to destroy. I come
and to kill. And man, this so-called white man done slaughtered. All right. I wish you got a Native American Indian sign. Well, it's just, all right, yeah, there we go. Hold this one up for a minute. All right, did you forget what the white man did? Because a lot of people forgot what these devils did. That's why they don't want to stop and deal with this, man. But guess what? You're going to have to face reality, man. You are going to be brought up on charges, man. Right. And you are going to be convicted. And actually, the judgment's already laid. The Lord already deemed you white people guilty, man. There's no way you can sit there and undo slaughtering over hundreds of millions of Native American Indians, over hundreds of million so-called Negroes, probably into the billions up to date. You can't undo that, man. You can't undo, like the brothers was talking about, the health system, okay, the fluoridation of the water. That's why a lot of so-called Negroes got all these different diseases in the ghetto, mainly. Because why? They poison your water system. Now they coming out with the toothpaste, finding out that they put a plastic byproduct that's found in tires, the little pieces, into the toothpaste, which basically stays lodged in your teeth and eat away at your teeth And that's why so many people got all kind of